On October 16, 2016, 22-year-old mother of two Whitney Gray was involved in a road rage incident while driving her minivan in Independence, Missouri. During a verbal altercation, a shot was fired from a white SUV, killing Gray. Her two sons, aged 3 and 6 months, were in the back seat, and Gray's 16-year-old niece was riding in the passenger seat at the time. The white SUV fled the scene, but the driver was identified as 39-year-old Christopher Taylor. After a multi-state manhunt, investigators tracked Taylor down over 700 miles away in Box Elder, South Dakota, and bring him in for an interview.
You ever have any other confrontations with people like this?
Never.
Never?
Never even been in a fight.
Any other things going on in your life that's kind of been rough on you?
No,
your dad was worried about you.
Everything's good. That's the problem. You know what? Everything was good in my life. You know what's fucking worse? The family of that girl that I killed. How the fuck am I gonna live with that, man? You know, I thought that when I joined the Army that I would be able to do the job. And this is probably a damn good thing that I didn't. That I had to get out. I don't know how anybody could handle doing this. Granted that in war it's justified, but what I did, no, it's not.
Did you tell anybody else about what happened?
Nobody
that you can confide in?
No. I just freaking panicked.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I was driving out here, all I could think about was going back and turning myself in. Because there's no way you can run from that. I don't even know why I tried.
I'd like to think ultimately you would have came to that conclusion after you
No, I stopped.
cleared your head a little bit.
I stopped here. Driving that freaking, whatever it is, 6 hours across the state. Just thinking about everything. And I told myself that I would stop and rest. In the morning, I would freaking head south and go back. But I don't know, it's just a thought. Who knows what would happen, but it doesn't matter.
Your dad had went to your apartment, wherever you were staying, after the detectives down there went and visited with him, and he'd seen the news, and he'd seen a picture of your vehicle that they'd got from I don't know if it was a convenience store or whatever, and he was concerned about, that it was possibly you because you weren't answering your phone. Were you just avoiding calls, or did you completely take your battery out from the beginning?
No, my phone was on the whole time, but when I left, I just took the battery out. And
He also noted in your apartment some other items that he thought was missing. One was like your guitar.
The guitar is in the hotel.
In the hotel. We did a search after they came and got you out of the motel. We did a search warrant because we want to make sure there was not guns or anything like that.
They're in the car.
Okay.
My rifle was in the car.
Okay. And that's the only
ammunition
Okay.
and
what did you? I mean, I can if I'm thinking, like, if I'm putting myself in your shoes, that this happens, and, you know, keeping that handgun, one, like you said, who wants a gun that's killed somebody, accidental intention, no matter what, who's going to want that thing? And why you would toss that thing, get rid of it. Can't sell it. Well, what did you get the AR for?
I've had it for a long, long time.
Okay. Is that your dad thought it had been taken out of the apartment? Is it? Did you take it when you loaded up to leave, or was it already in your car?
I took anything that was worth a lot of value to me that I wanted. I just loaded it up and just left. And like all the contents of my safe, my gun safe at home. I just put it all in boxes and my backpacks and whatnot, and I just left.
What other items were in your gun safe that you have in your car?
There's magazines for the rifle. There's a scope. There's Hearing Pro, a rangefinder, binocular, ammo, my wood axes, fishing pole, takedown recurve bow, all my paperwork, passport, birth certificate, social security card, car paperwork, cleaning kit, my gold coins and silver coins, there's a lot of stuff through there. It's all in a box, and everything else is in knives, folding wood saws, there's probably some other stuff.
Were you thinking this stuff could be used for living off the land or something, or is this something that's got a value to it that you can trade in, keep you going?
Yeah.
Or this is my value. This is
my
stuff.
value.
My stuff.
Yeah, that's my stuff. It's what, you know, I love the outdoors. You know, it's who I am, and I didn't want to leave it behind. You know, all the rest of the stuff in the apartment is, you know, like TVs and DVDs and whatnot. It's just,
you know, I think your honesty in this, and you know, whether There's obviously going to be some debate whether it's believed that this was negligent, like you got a gun out of a holster up here and pulled the trigger, if that was an accident or if you meant to crack a round off, but no way in the world that I think I'd hit a car, let alone hit somebody. You know, that's a 1 in 1,000 shot. I think if you're trying to make it, that's going to be debatable. But your honesty, I mean, this is a tough thing to be honest about. It's a tough thing for you to talk about. But the evidence that they have, the witnesses, the things like that, you know, the actual fact of you're in this car, they're in that car, you ended up pointing a gun over and you shot at that stuff, there's all the evidence that backs that. Okay. Your honesty is essentially the biggest tool on your behalf here. And I can tell you're remorseful about what happened. I believe you didn't mean whatever happened with a gun to hit somebody, let alone kill somebody. And I know I definitely appreciate the honesty. We talk to too many people that, for much smaller things that are on video committing crimes and this and that, and they will not just be honest about it.
No reason to lie.
No. You think of any other questions that you have for him?
You know, you asked a question a while ago. How you're going to be able to live with this. I think you need to understand that you're taking those steps to start that now.
No.
In being honest, you're at least facing it.
No.
Well, then trust me then. You may not think so.
I can't ever live with that. I just think about what it meant to my family, it was me.
I understand that.
What's that?
And I'm not going to sit here and make some stupid statement like, you know, I understand where you're
Well,
coming
I
from.
can't ever get over it then. Maybe in the line of duty it's different. Maybe you're protecting your life against a real threat. But this was just friggin' reflex. It just muscle.
Take me back to your Army training a minute. What all did you guys get trained in? Handgun, long guns?
Rifle. We didn't do any handgun training.
Even an AIT, because that's like an advanced after basic
Yeah, they
training.
don't do pistol and AIT anymore. It's all rifle.
Okay.
At least they did when I was 2007.
Right. I can't remember if we asked you. When you went in the military, what were you going in for originally?
Infantry Ranger.
Infantry Ranger. Would they even, down the road, would you have been equipped at some point with handgun?
Yeah.
It just depended on where you were with your training and how far along.
Yeah, they don't do handgun in basic training.
Right. So long gun was mainly like an M16 type, AR type platform?
M4.
M4s? Okay. And so then along the way, what have you had training with handguns?
No.
As far as other than
what I've done myself.
Right.
No training classes or anything like that.
Okay.
You shoot quite a bit.
Used to a lot. Dry fire. It's like just practicing in the apartment because shooting's expensive. When they're $1 a round, it costs a lot to shoot. But
Did you ever do any training at the range? I don't know, did you guys have outdoor ranges at all, or was it all indoor?
yeah, outdoor.
Had some outdoor stuff? Scenarios where you could actually use the setup you had in the vehicle. Where you could...
No.
Okay. You know what I'm asking as far as being able to, to work scenarios from that? Okay.
Like vehicle-bound training and stuff like that. No.
Right. Okay. The convenience store you went to, I think, was it Quick Trip?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
you said you'd gone, where did you get water from? Was that there or the grocery store? When you went back and got some water?
I went to the other Quick Trip. Because they didn't have water at the one there in 40 and Sterling.
So the one you went to prior to meeting up with this incident, was that where you got the water, or was that?
No.
Okay. So, you left out of there. Was the van visible at that point, or is it something you came across later?
Van.
The vehicle, whatever.
The vehicle this gal was driving.
Right.
Oh. Like I said, I returned home and left again. I was heading north on Sterling. And we passed 23rd Street. But
Do you remember coming across her driving slow in front of you originally, or did you guys meet
no,
at the
I
light?
was at the light. I just came up to the light.
Right.
And
She just kind of poking along.
Yeah, I was just driving real slow, and I just wanted to get around her.
Yeah. When you went around her, would you say you guys are very close to each other? I mean,
No.
just a general, normal passing of a vehicle distance kind of thing?
I mean, I was close behind her because she was going so slow, but
Right. But when you came around her, you guys were in a pretty average distance.
yeah. I mean, I got over to the lane completely before I started accelerating forward.
Okay. And nothing exchanged between you two until she caught up that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And did she motion or gesture or give indications that made you feel threatened at any point, or?
No.
Okay. Did you get a pretty good idea off that satellite photo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. About mid-trestle.
You're gonna have to die for that, probably.
And it would have been off the south side of that bridge. Do you, just listening to you talk about firearms and stuff like that, you read a lot of firearms magazines, watch any shows like that, you use some terminology that either tells me that you've got the training or you at least got an interest in it.
I have knowledge of it. I mean, like I say, it's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just enjoy firearms. And who doesn't know their stuff when
Is your holster still in the vehicle? I might have asked you that already. Or did that go out with the gun?
Mm-hmm. It's still in there.
Okay. We probably won't have the opportunity to talk to you again. I don't know. I guess we could. If there were some follow-up questions that we had for you. Like I said, I know you don't believe it, and you probably don't want to hear it right now, or won't even believe it. But he's right in the fact that the first step of any possibility of it is being honest. Boy, if you were to just hash this down and deny it, blame it away, you wouldn't have any chance.
God will never forgive me.
He does. He forgives.
No. Murder is an unforgivable sin. Yes, it is.
You know your New Testament much? A guy named Paul.
Yeah.
You know what he did? He murdered a whole bunch of people. And he was forgiven, so tuck that away somewhere.
Says a book.
Yeah, book written by a pretty important person.
We don't know that. I mean,
You're right. It's fake. I get it.
I didn't say it was fake.
No,
No,
fake.
fake.
Oh,
Fake.
So, I'm not shooting cards. You know, like you said, we may or may not cross paths again, but if you got some questions, if you want to talk to us again, you can sure ask. Just let the COs know over there. Do you kind of know the process, what's going to happen from here for you as far as
Here's what I
getting back to Missouri?
Yeah, I know. Here's what I would really like to know. My items that were the guitar and the gold and silver coins and everything that was in the apartment. I don't know. Doesn't need to go to my father.
We have them now, and we're gonna leave here and we're gonna go put them into our evidence building. All of that stuff, your car, all your property's got to make its way back to Missouri. Okay. Once they've got the case back there, I don't know what they're gonna hold on to as far as waiting for this whole thing to come to trial. Yeah, the coins and all that stuff, they weren't even in your vehicle or any bit related to this incident. But since you grabbed them up and brought them out here, they may want to keep on to them until this thing sorted itself through the court. Definitely, I think I don't see any reason why they can't be released to your dad at some point.
He's going to need those to get me a lawyer.
Okay.
Because my family has no money.
Okay. And they'll, obviously right away they can appoint one to you. But that would be something to discuss about that property getting released to him. They may not.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of the...
If it was up here, the state's attorney in our world would handle that. I don't know about Missouri. I'm guessing it's probably the same way. It'll be kind of up to their determination. So, but, make your concerns known, where you want things to go, so they have that up front.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Chris, you think we ought to know? I mean, it's an opportunity. It's a conflict situation. We get that.
I told you everything.
Okay.
I've all that doing the right thing, and then
Finish that up before we go back down.
Hey, Chris, if we have occasion to talk to your dad, and I don't know that we will, are you okay if we express to him that you're here, you're safe?
yeah, I would appreciate it if someone would get a hold of him and let him know.
Okay. Like either we can or we can get a hold of
The investigator down there.
yeah. At least, so he isn't concerned you're out in the wild somewhere.
Your dad, it seemed in the reports, expressed a concern for your safety and a real concern what would happen when law enforcement made contact with you. Obviously, he knows you're a good person that got in a bad situation and trying to deal your way through it. And was concerned you'd make any other bad decisions.
Oh.
make our way back down there.
Two short steps, Chris, and I'll help you.
They're almost the fact that they're just loose enough, they've fallen right down on those ankle bones.
After working with police back in Missouri, investigators bring Taylor back in to answer more questions, including what he did with the murder weapon.
Yep, yeah, we're late enough in the day. You got breakfast already, didn't you? Well, like I just mentioned down there, we have, obviously, as we dig further into this stuff, communicate back and forth with the law enforcement back there in Missouri. We end up with more questions and stuff like that we want to ask you. The bulk of what we talked about yesterday is just more little details and not major things. I mean, we really talked about the bulk of what we needed to yesterday. But since you're still in custody, it's a different day. We've taken you back. We got to advise you of your rights again. Just a formality. You have the continuing right to remain silent, stop questioning at any time. Anything you say can be used as evidence against you. You have the continuing right to consult with an attorney and have the presence of an attorney. And if you cannot afford an attorney will be appointed for you. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
Do you wish to waive these rights and talk to us at this time?
Exactly as last time. I do not waive my rights, but I will talk to you.
You will talk to me. You want to talk to us without an attorney?
I will.
Okay. Yesterday afternoon, I lost track of time. After we took you back down there, we obviously took any of the evidence, your guitar and your coins and everything like that, placed them into evidence. Then we got a search warrant for your car. That night they towed your car from the motel to our evidence facility, and we then cut a search warrant for the car. We'd understood that there was a shell casing found at the scene of the incident. So we were looking for ammunition. Of course, you told us you had a gun and stuff like that in the car, and I know you told us you threw your handgun in the Missouri River, but we still had to go ahead and check and search and everything like that. When we talked to you yesterday, you kind of made it sound like you grabbed a few valuable things from your house, some clothes and things like that, but your car was loaded down. You're a very prepared person, very organized guy.
Yeah.
Is that something? Have you done stuff? I would use the term prepping.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done that for a long time?
I've been interested in it for since 2012, and I'm going to say everything in there is just, like I said, some of it's camping gear,
mm-hmm.
some of it's bushcraft gear, going out in the woods and living, just
mm-hmm.
doing stuff in the woods. Other stuff is my rifle and battle gear, which was from my Army time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I joined the Army, I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and I take that very seriously. And they say that you can't always depend on the government to do everything. If there was, say, an invasion or total breakdown of society, you have to be able to protect yourself. Because FEMA, look what they did in New Orleans. They couldn't help those people. If that kind of thing happens, I want to be prepared for it. I'm
mm-hmm.
not a threat to anybody because of that. It's just, why does FEMA stock food so they can help people? I stock food to prepare for myself so I can help myself. Why does the Department of Homeland Security stockpile ammunition and weapons so they can defend the country, right?
Yep.
I do it to defend myself and the people around me. It's not nefarious in any way.
Nope.
It's just when I don't know, because here's the problem with the whole prepping and that kind of movement. It has a stigma to it that the media and even the government has placed upon people that do that because they see it as a threat. Maybe there's justified in some circumstances, but you can't label everyone the same way. So, yeah, everything in there was purchased as contention, just like the government does, just like anybody should do. Even FEMA says, be prepared.
Be prepared. And you're talking to two firearms instructors who love guns and stuff like that. So preparing, stockpiling, stuff like that is. I use the word prepper.
I wouldn't say
just so you kind of understood what I was talking about.
I wouldn't say stockpiling. I know I have in rifle ammunition. I don't know if you guys counted everything, but I would say maybe 2,400 rounds. But in a typical, training session, if you were to go to like some of those gun courses where they do.
I know when I went to, like in a week, we blew 1,000
rounds in a weekend. Yeah, in 3 days.
Yeah, Thunder Ranch or something like that.
And I know to some people it's going to look like a stockpile, and even to the media. If it goes out, here's the problem: if something like that goes out to the media back home, then automatically I've been labeled, and I'm no longer just Chris, who was just an average guy, just preparing for himself. And now, if it goes out, I don't get a free trial if I take this to, because it's the perception of me and the media and the lay public has been conditioned to accept the idea of prepping. Now I'm not guaranteed a free trial. The public's been preconditioned.
Well, don't think that we've got that opinion. Okay?
I know.
We're sitting there looking at that stuff, and I'm like, damn.
We're kind
I like this guy. I like how he does stuff. I like his equipment. He knows what he's doing.
I love my stuff. I mean, you can see that I put top dollar into everything that I purchased.
Yeah, we'll see people that have ammunition, but they'll have. It's the way I am. You buy what you can get. You take the time, and you apparently you really like Hornady. Good ammunition.
I love Hornady. It's great ammunition.
And so that's what you go after, and you've got a good pilot. Your gun, my goodness. Did you build that, or did you order it right from LaRue?
Directly from LaRue. Then everything in there on the weapons from LaRue, except for the bad leather.
Bad leather.
No,
What'd that gun cost you?
The rifle itself was $2,000. The M4 with the 3-time magnifier was like $1,500 with the mounts.
Point in the magnifier.
Yeah. Then all the accessories and stuff was another couple grand or so. It's about $5,000 just in the rifle itself.
And is that scope, that big night force,
the night force
set up, zeroed in?
It's zeroed in, 100 yards for if I ever was going to go hunting.
Yep.
But, I don't ever really shoot that because I just go to the Lake City range in Kansas City and just shoot targets with the rifle. And anytime I go to the range, anytime I went to the range with a pistol, it was just to shoot target, but then I would do dry fire exercises at home. But as far as all the...
Yeah, it's all legal. It's all legit. Like I said, I'm looking at it going, dang, I understand the preparing for stuff and things like that.
And like I told you, that was what meant the most to me. That's what I spent the last, how many years? 5 years? 4 to 5 years? Just, kind of concentrate on that because we're in troubled times. I mean,
I would agree. I think we were just talking about that earlier today. You know, we probably need to, you know, we build ARs and stuff like that. A guy probably should pick up a loader or something here like this and have them and be prepared to build something. And you very carefully, I mean, spare parts, things like that, you have it prepared.
I don't have any spare parts for the rifle.
Oh, I thought you had a buffer too, a buffer spring.
No, I had to replace the buffer spring because LaRue has a history of their gas ports being too small. And so with the port selector switch for suppressed or unsuppressed,
it's up on the gas block.
It hangs up the slide or the bolt carrier. So I had to put the lighter weight buffer spring in there to make it come back all the way on the last round so it would lock back. So it's not spare parts. That's what LaRue sent me for free.
So their ports inside of it, is it inside their bolt carrier that the ports are?
No, in the barrel.
In the barrel.
And then the gas block, you know, sits there and has the selector switch on top of it. I'll never see that freaking ever again.
Yeah, it's a heck of a nice gun, man.
Yeah, it was a heck of a waste of money, now, wasn't it?
So your bigger deal is more concerned of, you know, we're in troubled times. You know, who knows what's next? I'm sure every election concerns people. What's going to happen? What can I get my hands on? Did you have a lot more ammunition at home too?
Everything that I have is in that car.
Okay. And you didn't have any other guns, just the AR and the handgun.
Mm-hmm.
You live off the land. You don't have a suppressor, do you?
No.
I didn't think so. Did you have, like, in the event of those troubled times, something happened, did you have a plan? You know, I'm going to grab my stuff, and this is,
no.
You're prepared to survive? Is it just I have the equipment, and if it happens here and I got to survive in my urban environment here, I'm good? Or if something bad happens and it turns bad quick, am I heading for the hills? Or
well, that's the thing. You never know.
Never know.
You don't know what you're prepping for. You just try to be ready for anything that might come your way. Mm-hmm. You know, and like I said earlier about the Katrina thing, those people had plenty of warning. And had they been prepared and gotten out when they should have, they wouldn't have had a problem. You know, I could take all my food in my backpack and my rifle for protection in case, you know, looters or someone tried to ambush me. It's, in a situation like that, it's completely possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you don't know who's got your back on that going.
Yeah.
There is, society would completely break down at that point.
Yeah.
It's not. You hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think some people, I guess they would see the preparation, the meticulous preparation that you've done in packing your stuff up, and it's very well organized. As, you know, this dude, this incident happened, and he took off, and he was headed to the hills, and you'd never see him again. And
that was, like I stated, we talked before. At the time, I was panicking. It was, I guess you could say, post-traumatic stress, where I was in complete shock, didn't know what I was doing, and just like with the training, the firearms, you know, like practicing and whatnot, your mind becomes adapted to certain things where you just do them subconsciously. Like, you breathe, you don't think about breathing, you just breathe. Your heart beats, you don't think about it, it just beats. When you think about stuff like that, you know, just being prepared and doing things for such a long time becomes, you know, part of who you are. And my initial reaction was just fear and panic, and just so to say that I was planning to go off and disappear and live in the woods isn't completely accurate. And that it would be more of I was just panicking and I needed to think. And like I told you, that after I'd come this far and the whole drive across South Dakota, that I was thinking about turning back and going and turning myself in. And I thought by the time that I got here and took a rest, that in the morning that I could get up and I just go back down south through Cheyenne, then turn back east, go back to Kansas City. But
Well,
it was a million different things that were going on in my mind at the same time.
Based on our conversation yesterday and stuff like that, I like to believe that that's what you would have done.
I think it's fair to say, when we pulled your car apart, there was too much time and specifics put into your packing to think that you ran home and did all that packing. And we knew you didn't. It was just stuff that was already prepared for an event. And in the situation you found yourself in, it was reasonable to grab what you needed because you didn't know what you needed. So.
Well, like I said, it was a panic moment.
Do you have a scenario, a natural disaster happens? Do you have in your mind kind of a prepared, these boxes in my car, this goes here, and I'm mobile?
There's not really any boxes. I mean, like most of my camping gear and bushcraft stuff, just wilderness gear, in a cupboard underneath in a cabinet, and have my backpacks there, and everything kind of positioned, and then everything that has to do with firearms or anything is in my safe. And that's where everything stays. I don't move it. It just sits there. Mm-hmm. So, as far as scenarios, no, it's like I said before, it's you have to be prepared for anything, and there's no real scenario. It could be anything, it's like there's nothing else I can.
Yeah, we had a good get that last couple of years ago. We had a blizzard that hit out of nowhere, and nobody knew it was coming. And sure, for a week, everybody's down.
Nobody had power. Yeah. Nobody had to get around. Yeah, they say that America is 3 days away from chaos.
If that. Because
the grocery stores only stock 3 days worth of food, and people only have 3 days worth of food in their fridges. Mm-hmm. In 3 days, well, maybe if there's a disaster like Katrina or Hurricane Sandy or anything like that, an earthquake, anything. Mm-hmm. The New Madrid fault line was the biggest earthquake on the American continent in the history of the United States. It registered like a 9.5 back in 1890 or something like that. And it leveled everything. It made the Missouri River run backwards. That stuff can happen.
Mm-hmm. So your preparedness is more for something like that versus government, anti-government.
I know why you would ask the question. Because the books in the car, and those books are part of any possible contingency. But I would never take up arms against the government under any circumstances. If you look at any of the books, the James Woods Earl Patriot Survival books, basically what the idea is that a financial collapse has happened, and like we've been talking about, a complete disintegration of culture, of civilized people. And the whole premise is it tells the stories of different people going different places, mostly centered around Idaho. And it's more of the marauder type after it's the fan scenario that is most important, to me. But there's always the contingency. And like I say, you prepare, hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is important why we ask these questions. So people
I understand why you're asking them.
Maybe not get you an image of you as this dude is an anti-government type. He's stockpiling guns and ammo.
I joined the Army, for God's sake. I was trying to be an infantry or a ranger.
A guy who stockpiles guns and ammo, stockpiles multiple guns and stuff like that. You have a lot of ammunition for the two tools that you need.
I wouldn't say. All right.
You have a good amount of ammunition for the two tools that you need for survival.
A normal amount of ammunition for a reasonable defense. We're not talking tens of thousands of rounds. We're not talking, like we talked before, we said before, that the training, you shoot 1,000 rounds of training in three days.
Well, but I think for a guy that's going to live off the land and try to survive, that's a fair amount of ammo. For hunting, for self-protection.
Well, we keep going back to the living off the land thing. And
You got the bow. Arrows are top-grade arrows that you're not going to shoot, and as long as you can recover, those full metal jacket arrows are gonna last.
Yeah.
You got a recurve bow that you got minimal parts. You're not gonna have a compound bow breaking down on you.
Yeah,
You can reuse it, shoot wildlife and stuff like that. So I believe what you're saying. That's why you're prepared, is more for a disaster or something like that. Not some, government apocalypse that people might have the perception of.
I find the stories interesting of it, and like I say, that I like fiction writing and the survival mindset. That's let's say that preparation is an idea that not a whole lot of people understand or even get, for that matter.
Or care about.
Okay, yeah, or care about. But for the people who do, it's your life, it's your family's life, it's the people around you's lives. Like you'll see in the books, they're all based on Christian beliefs and being good to the people around you, and there's going to be bad people during bad times, and you have to protect yourself and your family. That's God's law. Do not, take a life, but if it's in self-defense or in defense of somebody else or your well-being, then yes, but it's about charity and helping the people that are around you. I'm going to need character witnesses, obviously, when this goes to court. And you can ask anybody that knows me that I'm the laid back, just easygoing. I'll do anything for anybody. I'm not a crazy survivalist prepper. That's not who I am. But I do prepare.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we see as far as your demeanor in here. But I would ask one question. There is some talk that there are incidents where you have gotten angry quickly over an event, but then, chills right down. Would you say that describes any of your past?
It depends. I don't...
So you wouldn't define yourself as somebody that gets angry quickly over events?
I guess it would depend.
On what's going on?
Yeah, I can't say that I wouldn't. But yeah, it really just depends.
So these character witnesses, would they describe Chris as hot-headed?
No.
Okay.
Very calm, relaxed. Occasionally at work, I get freaking mad. Like something didn't go right. Yeah, I get mad. I mean, I'll cuss, but I don't act out in violence or anything like that.
Something that the detectives back in Missouri were kind of curious about. They got a couple things they're curious about. I think we kind of got an idea of what you had done, but did you shave? You had more facial hair. Did you have a full-on beard or just a good?
Just stubble.
Just stubble. Did you shave that before you headed back this way, or?
Right before I left to come up here.
You were at your house? That's what we thought, because that stuff was in your car, and there was no evidence in the motel room. After the shooting incident, when you pulled the gun up and the gun went off, what was your mind frame and your thoughts immediately right thereafter?
I'll go from as it's happening. Like I mentioned, it felt just like a reaction, like muscle memory, that whatever was thrown at my vehicle startled me enough. I pressed on the gas and automatically just went like that. And as my hand came around, of course I can't put my arm where I can with these cuffs on, and I'm just looking forward, and on the finger just, it wasn't intentional, but okay, so getting into your question though, it's like it was just happening, and like that I didn't even freaking know what I was doing. It happened so fast. And right after I was just freaked out. I said to myself, my God, what you just do, what you just do.
Did you think that you hit that car, or think that you hit a person, or was it the gun just went off?
The gun just went off.
Okay. Did you see anything that would lead you to believe that I hit that car, or I was close to that car, or I hit a person?
I wasn't looking. I just driving.
So you had no clue. At that point, the
know.
gun goes off, you had no clue where that bullet went. No clue. When you got home, did you see, you're driving away, and in the rear view mirror, did you see that car do anything that led you to believe it? Oh, I wonder if I hit it. Or
I saw him pull over.
How far did it go before it pulled over?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, the whole time when that happened was just like almost instantaneous in my mind. And there was no, I just hit the gas, and I'm just like, I couldn't, the gun went off, and I'm driving.
What, do you recall what route you took? Can you describe the route you took from there to your house?
I have no idea what the street is. I can't even tell you. I'm not familiar with that area. I just turned on the first right on the first street that I came to, and then snaked back.
You don't remember the exact route you took?
No.
Because you had you gave us, you said yesterday you were living with your dad.
No, I said my mailing address was with my dad.
But you didn't give us your actual address. Okay, because the detectives down there, obviously, you have some information in Missouri, sorry. Your address was at your dad's house. So they obviously, once they've got an idea that your vehicle's involved, you're probably the person, they go to your dad's house and find out that isn't where you live, which they then get another address. Is that the road where you actually that's where you went to?
Yes.
Took a right and snaked your way back to there. Do you know any of those other street names that you took to get back over there? Honestly, I cannot.
Okay. If you could pull it up on Google Maps, I could try to show you.
I think we can try to.
While he's looking that up, I mean, obviously you distinctly, know the shot. Do you remember at what point the gun, at what point you got it in your hand? I mean, was there things going on that just concerned you enough that you at least had it available to you if something went south?
Like I said last night, it's a ready position all the time.
Right.
It's just right there. And
but you don't remember just, specifically.
no, like I said, it just happened. And
The first recollection you have is
the gun going off.
Okay. Yeah, we did find the holster. It wasn't where you'd said. It was in the center console. So
No, I didn't. I said it was in the car. I didn't say it was anywhere.
We were under the impression that it was going to be.
Oh no!
Okay.
No, it's where the gun would stay if I was in the car in between the seat and the.
Do you recall then taking it out of the like that area and at a later point setting it in the console or something like that?
Just moving stuff around in my car. I mean, obviously I packed it full of stuff.
Here is, and you tell me what you need to do. Here's your address on this East Sheely Road, and I don't remember. This is north.
Sterling. That's 23rd right there. Do you have satellite view on this?
I'll find it. Yeah, I switch phones back and forth. You can take it back to where the shooting happened. You're on South Sterling Ave.
That's 23rd Street right there. So that's the road bridge right there.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Okay, so like I said yesterday, we were coming from 23rd Street.
You're heading this direction.
Heading this direction.
And that is, what is that? North?
I don't know where in this area it happened.
Okay.
I can't tell you that exactly.
Where did you come in contact with the car at? Back down here towards?
Like I told you yesterday, we were sitting here at the stoplight,
mm-hmm.
and say that car right there.
Sterling and East 23rd.
Yes, your pain.
Yeah.
And say that this is me right here, and this is the van, and there's cars here. We kind of start traveling, coming this way, and like I said, I was driving well below the speed limit, and I waited for these vehicles here to clear. So I changed lanes and sped up, and I don't know where that happened though in here. I can't tell you that exactly. Now, I don't know if it happened before that bridge or after. I mean, you guys would know where they found the showcase, and you would be able to.
I'd have to ask them. They didn't tell us the exact
No,
location.
I can't tell you exactly where, so that would determine what route. I turned on the very next street.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be winter.
So you turn, what direction that would be? You turn
South.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. That's.
If you're headed northbound.
This is
northbound.
That's northbound, so I'm turning east.
You're turning eastbound. This is up for us to understand. Those guys back there probably know the street so well. They understand stuff. We're trying to just get a lay of the land.
I really, honestly, can't be for sure what street I took. I know that...
And your house is back here?
Yeah, it's... Okay, so... I'm thinking somehow I came up Chrysler and went down this... See, this is Sheely here. As it crosses West Sheely.
So you'd have had to turn east and then turn southbound again to get back to your house?
Yeah. Well, I turned east, then south, then back west. So I don't know how I got back over here. I can't even recall, but then it leads right there.
And your house is right there. Where were you headed to before this incident happened? You were sitting there headed northbound. You were headed to another gas station. Where's the gas station that you'd gone to and they didn't have any water? The bottled water you were after?
Yeah. Notice says at 40 Sterling at 70 highway. It's right here. No. What is that? Nah, it's 40 highway. It's right there. It's Quick Trip.
And you went from your house down to the Quick Trip?
Okay, I went from the grocery store to my house. I didn't have water at the grocery store. I left my house, went to my house, came down here to Quick Trip. They didn't have any water there because they had the things blocked off. There was nothing in there. I went back down to my house and left again. I was going to go down to the other Quick Trip to get water, and that's when the incident happened.
So you left here, went to your house, and then once you're at the house, did you do anything at your house? Or?
No, I don't think so. I just...
And then came back out on, was it Sterling?
Yeah.
Came back out on Sterling and was headed north.
Okay, so I came northbound on Sterling. Where's Sheely? Right there, Sheely Road, and then turn here, go to my house, leave, come back west after I leave my house, then turn north again on Sterling to go to Quick Trip at 24 Highway.
Gotcha. And once this happened, you're like, cancel the plans to the Quick Trip, huh?
No, I wasn't thinking anything. It was
reaction.
Just reaction. It was freaking holy.
Okay. Now I don't know how to get to Rapid City from Missouri. What's the route you took when you said you left at 7 yesterday morning? The day before.
Maybe a little after 7. I don't know what time it was exactly.
What way did you come to Rapid City?
29 to 90.
And then over. Okay. Stopped at any convenience stores, anything like that? Gas, stuff like that. Speaking
about every 200 miles.
Okay. Speaking of gas, your car right now is full. Did you fill up when you got in town?
I filled up at the Flying J across the highway from...
Did you eat there or anything, or just filled up?
No, I haven't eaten in...
Okay. It occurred to me last night that you'd made it all the way to here. You obviously were filling your car up and stuff like that. In your car, found your wallet with your driver's license, stuff like that. Or that was in
my
property in the room. Is there any cash in there?
$392.
Where was it, in your wallet, or where was that?
It was in my wallet. And they took it into booking here.
Okay, all right.
Because we want to make sure where it's at.
Yeah,
actually, if you guys could help me with this, I know that I don't know if you can or not. I might have to go through the jail, but in my wallet, there was a George Washington gold dollar that my grandfather gave me before he died. They took it, put it on as credit from my account. That's sentimental. Hi, Irving.
Okay.
I don't know if you could help
me. I did not see that. I saw the coin marks. Is that what's made all those small round marks?
In the center quarter, a 1976 bicentennial quarter, and a 2001 or 2 gold George Washington dollar. was very sentimental to me.
I'll talk to him down there. Typically, when you bring cash in, it goes into their funds and they cut you a check.
It's not right.
This should be
No,
treated
no.
more like property.
It is property because I need that money. I got to pay for a freaking lawyer.
So is it gold Washington or George Washington dollar? And what else?
Dollar and a 19. The quarter I'm not really too concerned about, but it was a it was a bicentennial quarter, 1776 to 1976.
Especially that gold one.
Yeah.
That's not a dollar. That's
No,
not
I
a
don't.
dollar.
It's not. It's just gold plated. It's worth maybe $2 or $3, but it's not the value of it. I care about it. It's sentimental value.
It should be treated like a piece of property
Yeah,
versus a normal quarter or something. We get that. All right. I didn't realize that because I was just thinking, I was like, how did this dude make it all the way out here with no credit cards, cash? I'm assuming do you got credit cards?
No.
Okay, you a cash kind of guy?
Yeah, I had financial problems back in early 2007 with the banking. I had a job making really good money and was going through Bank of America, and I got laid off the job. Didn't have it. Well, I had very, very large bills to pay, and things went.
You end up filing bankruptcy or?
No, I still haven't done that, and
Right.
I need to, but I can't get a bank account because of that.
Gotcha.
So I deal only in cash.
Is the all the gold coins, the silver dollars, the silver bullion, is that collector stuff, or is that more along with you preparing for a disaster that gold and silver is going to hold its value?
It's a hedge against inflation. That's what gold and silver are.
Okay.
There are 3 silver eagle, 3 1 ounce gold eagle American dollars, 1 10th ounce gold. There are 29 silver eagles, 1 ounce gold coins, and 49.
49, yeah.
And then 20 sunshine mint gold, silver bars.
Right. That's our count. Yep.
I pretty much know the inventory of everything in there, but like I said, it was, that's what it, hedge against inflation. You guys know that since 1913, when the Federal Reserve Act was put into law, that our dollar has lost 96% of its actual buying value, and that's all due to inflation. That if you had, say, $1,000 back in 1913, that $1,000 now would be worth $92,000 or $96,000. That's a big freaking inflation.
Yeah. But it would only buy what $1,000 would have bought back then.
No, because if you put that $1,000 into gold at the time, when a gold piece cost $20, when it was still real money, no. Now it's that $1,000 is a ridiculous amount of money. That's why.
Gotcha. That's what you're saying. About $1,000 worth of gold back then, it would be an insane amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. When you said when you fired that shot, it was more of a holy crap. The gun went off. Didn't know if you hit the car. Didn't know anything about it. I think you touched on this yesterday, but I want to get more clarification. When did you learn that you had hit the car? Well, more so hit a person, and
Right. So whenever I got home, I sat around, I don't know how long I was panicking, just freaking out, not knowing what to do. I got on my phone to look at the news, and that's when I saw the shooting in Independence. And I really started to freak out, but I wasn't sure if anybody had died as shooting. And then, I'm just getting my stuff together. I guess I know that I'm either gonna freaking go to jail or what, but I start packing up all my clothes and everything that, it's not my place, it's a rental place, and I can't leave this place this way. I can't leave that burden to my dad or anything like that to come and try to take care of it. And then at 7 o'clock in the morning, or slightly the day before, or whatever, my alarm clock went off for work, and the announcement came over the radio that someone had died in that shooting. That's when I lost it.
You were already kind of in panic mode. I gotta get out of here. I gotta, before you even knew that it hit anybody or.
Yeah.
Okay. When you shave your stubble off your face and stuff like that, is that normal for you to shave every so often, or is that a try not to be recognizable for a little while?
It was a panic thing. I usually wear stubble, but no, it was a panic thing.
And you thought about getting it off of there that might not be
I
recognizable?
don't know. I just, like I said, it was panic. It wasn't any really rational thought put behind it. It was post-traumatic. I don't know, I'm not sure if that's the right words, but you understand the gist of what I'm...
Mm-hmm. I do.
There's no question whether I ran or not, because obviously I'm here, I ran.
Yeah, no.
And,
There's no question about it, and you've been flat out completely honest from the start about that. The purpose of your ranting, some people will run and over the littlest stuff. I wouldn't put you in a category of a hardcore criminal. I know that's probably hard for you to look at going, what do you mean? I just shot a guy. I just shot and I killed somebody. Okay. What you did was a very bad thing. What you did was bad. I wouldn't categorize you as a bad person. Any point leading up to that, I wouldn't think you're a bad person. Okay. There are people that routinely go out there on a daily basis and do harm to other people. Whatever, steal their stuff, assault them, things like that. And they run. They will run, and they will never give up. Okay. You panicked. This bad situation happened. You more reacted, and you took off. But when cornered, you gave up. You cooperated. You're honest about it. You're not that bad person that we typically deal with. Okay. We've had guys sit over here who've intentionally done things, and they won't tell you the truth, and they don't give a crap, and they have no remorse, and they won't tell you the truth. That's not what we're looking at here.
This panic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like thinking about it, because how do you try to explain to somebody what you're feeling when they've never gone through the same thing? Mm-hmm. How do you try to convey those feelings, or how anybody feels? Because we're all different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But to try to explain my mindset it's like trying to explain how colors look to a colorblind person. And they can hear what you're saying, but they're not really going to understand how you feel or what you think.
Did you have a lock on your phone?
Yes.
Is that something you'd be willing to share with us? Or?
It depends on the purpose of the inquiry. I mean, it's not going to have any, I guess.
What they're going to do, their investigation. Who's your cell phone provider? Who's your
T-Mobile?
T-Mobile. Right now, I'm sure in Missouri, they're doing everything they can to get phone records to triangulate the location of your phone at approximately the time frame this happened. Where was it bouncing off the towers? They're going to do that. The phone isn't needed for that. or anything. Obviously, after when did you say you removed the battery and the SIM card out of your phone?
It's whenever I got home, I put it back in, and it stayed in until I left, coming up here.
And what was your purpose for doing that?
Panic.
So, I would assume when you say that, you're thinking that they could track your cell phone, they could track your mobility. You remove the phone, you remove the SIM card, I can go off the grid and they're not going to be able to track me.
It was panic.
So they're going to triangulate the time when the shooting happened, where you're at. I think more the phone, and you told us this already, that you didn't talk to anybody after that. Typically, in any homicide investigation, any big investigation we get into, phones and stuff are huge because people are always social media, texting, things like that, and there's good evidence there. Okay, they're probably not going to come up with any of that evidence, but it's an avenue that they're going to want to explore. They're going to get the phone back there. They'll write a search warrant for it. No doubt they'll be granted a search warrant, and they'll start searching it. The passcode is to just get in there easily. It's not an Apple iPhone, is it? So they might be able to hack it anyways. But you're sitting there saying that...
I'm not going to, go through all that. I mean, like I said, I'm not hiding anything. I'm telling you guys the truth.
We believe that. We got no doubt.
So that's the purpose of it. They want to look in there and make sure that you weren't talking to anything like that. And you're not, it works in your defense, too, because you're not talking about it.
No, it doesn't really work in my defense, because the prosecution is going to use any type of little tiny thing anywhere in my past or anything to try to paint me as someone that I'm not. And like, that's why we were talking about the whole survival thing, being labeled as a crazy prepper or something like that. That's what they're going to do to me. And that's not who I am.
Know, too, that your defense is going to have access to all the same stuff. Everything that we have.
But at the same time, when stuff gets put out in the media, it becomes impossible for a fair trial.
Yeah. We deal with that here, too. Facebook. It's one of our greatest tools, but it's one of our biggest enemies, because when something bad happens with a law enforcement officer, it goes out and it's the gospel truth.
Yeah.
And we're labeled this, we're labeled that. Heck, you see firsthand down in Missouri what's going on. Mm-hmm. We know there's there's problems. There's a lot of good cops, but we're dealing with stuff that's happened down there. It's the same thing.
It can happen to anybody.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why we're going to get back. That's kind of what we're looking for the passcode for the phone for. It's a quicker, easier way to just access it. They don't have to hook it up and try to.
Can I wait on that for my lawyer?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that'll be down the road.
It's just a question that come up when we were talking over our notes. So.
Okay, well, I will grant them access with my lawyer.
Okay. Yep. They'll probably still go ahead and work on getting a search warrant. And if there's some certain phones they might be able to get access to without the passcode.
They're going to force it. I mean...
No, they'll even... I think we have...
Well, I don't want to make this difficult. I just want to protect myself,
That's fine. No, that's perfectly fine. Even if you said, hey, this is my passcode right here, this is how you're going to get into it, they're still going to go write the search warrant, so a judge looks at it and says, yeah, it's reasonable. You guys got probable cause to want to check that phone out. And so then they would just have the passcode at that point. That's the reason. But no, you can.
No, I mean,
you can talk to them down there about it.
I don't want to, because I've been open about everything else. It's just digital technology is like, it's a double-edged sword like anything. Mm-hmm. And I'm not hiding anything, and I don't want anybody to think that I am. So, if it helps me out more to give it right now, I'll do it. But I would still like to wait.
That's cool.
Until
I think you're very reasonable to do that. And we get this, In our world, Well, things like Google, we were sitting here talking about this earlier on something else, but we love Google, but as a private citizen, you hate it.
It's Big Brother.
Like you said, double-edged. I mean, it's good, but it's not good. So, we get it. So.
Did you guys? So I'm just asking.
Yeah, go ahead.
About the. Have you been able to send somebody out to do the search and recovery for that? Well, I mean, I can mark on that kind of exactly where.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind looking at it.
But I'll mark it. I mean, I'll tell you.
Do you know how the U.S. Marshals figured out or came across his vehicle down here? You didn't talk to anybody?
I think it was through the hotel registry. It's all linked into.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I just realized I know it was the U.S. Marshals that came across your vehicle, but.
No, it's from the hotel registry.
Okay.
I would say right here was the point I threw it. It's, I don't know, probably traveling 35 miles an hour. I don't know what the speed limit was on that bridge. So, I don't know what the distance is, you guys know.
So probably don't. So it probably traveled a little ways.
It probably traveled 10, 15 feet before it actually hit water. So, then you can think it be in here.
Okay. I think Trevor asked you this the other day. So, in throwing it out, did you come out of your window with it? Or out the
passenger window?
Which direction were you going then? Did you turn around?
Back.
Turned around and you came back?
Yes.
Okay. And you just... Are we talking a baseball throw or are we talking a...
Side chuck.
Okay.
Pretty sure, though, it didn't hit any girders.
No, I watched it.
Okay. You watched it clear.
And that's asking that just to make sure somebody doesn't walk by. And
you were driving whatever reasonably the speed limit was, didn't stop to do it?
No, I was just driving across the bridge. Like I said, I've had quite a bit of time to, take this all in. It's still, but having that thing in my possession after what I did with that, I know it's freaking, now I know that it's attempting to destroy evidence, but at the time, in my mindset, that wasn't the purpose.
Yeah.
That it was to try to rid myself of something.
That's reasonable because you had plenty of opportunity before getting to this point.
But I would say there, and depending on river current, you could imagine maybe 40 meters. Search.
And the magazine was still in it?
No. The magazine is in the ammo can.
Okay, it's one of those magazines. In those ammo cans, specifically the one that had the handguns, you told us it was horny. I thought you said critical defense. There's critical duty in there.
Oh, critical duty.
It's critical duty.
Yeah.
Because there's the critical duty, the tap, and then just the steel match stuff.
Yeah, the steel match is just range.
So it's the critical duty that
the critical duty has the polymer too.
Polymer.
It's like
flex core or flex lock or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's one of those two magazines. Did you put another mag into it, or another round into the magazine, or you just pull it out?
No, it's load the magazine, chamber around, and load the mag.
Load and top it off.
Yeah. So I cleared it afterwards. And when I got home, I just freaked the fuck out, and I cleared the gun and just freaking.
So that mag has probably got, it's probably got 15 rounds in it then. You had 15 on 1 and 2, be fired the 1 and 2, and then later put the one back in.
It'll have, I can't say for sure, but, it'll have gunshot residue on the one. I don't know if the others will have it if I cleaned them thoroughly enough from last time I went to the range, but.
If there's ammunition in them, they'll probably have it. So the gun went into the river, totally unloaded. Locked back or anything? Or
no, slide forward.
Slide forward.
No magazine in the chamber or in the
Where do you typically buy your ammo and stuff like that in Missouri? Around, or you got a spot you like to go to?
I haven't bought any handgun ammo in a long time. I mean, I've just had that.
The rifle's a much better weapon.
I usually go to Cabela's or someplace like that, or they have good selection. Bass Pro doesn't have a very good selection. It just depends on where you can find the best deal on ammo.
The LaRue, did you order it from LaRue, ship it into an FFL?
Yeah. Well, I didn't directly order it from LaRue. I had the FFL order it for me. Since I don't have a credit card, I can't order direct.
Gotcha. Just paid cash for it.
Yeah.
You said you had this cash with you that's in the jail now. Did you have any other money hid out anywhere? Because they're going to, you said, they're probably going to empty that apartment and want anything left behind.
And I don't have, that's it. I had $500 and, like $580 when I started up here. I had a full tank of gas and $580. And that's all the cash that I had on me. And there's nothing in the apartment that is illegal. There's nothing to find there.
I heard they had actually found some more ammunition in there, so I didn't know if you forgot some or dropped some or forgot a can sitting somewhere.
Like, there was one rifle round, I think.
Okay, maybe.
I
talked to the detective. Well, I don't know if somebody else searched it and said, yeah, we found some more ammo, and they're talking about one bullet, and,
if you guys would like to show me a inventory list of what was in the car, I can tell you if I left anything there.
We will be giving you, at some point here, we put all the stuff in evidence. The gun, the ammo, we did a pretty decent job of tracking the inventory on that. Your other stuff, like your big Everly stock packs and stuff like that, we just kind of generalized, because what's going to happen with that stuff is we emptied everything out of the car. We put the rifles, the ammunition, stuff like that in our main evidence area, just because you don't want other people to ever get a chance to that. The other stuff, we're going to be it's boxed up, we're going to be putting them on a pallet, we're going to wrapping it up, and we have an evidence storage warehouse. We're going to put that stuff there. It's really not related to the crime, and it's not really ammunition, guns, and stuff like that. So we're going to store it. At some point, these detectives or somebody from Independence, Missouri is going to come down here. We're going to give all that stuff back to them. Your vehicle, this leasing center or something like that, do you pay monthly on that or weekly, or how do you?
Bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Okay.
So that's going to have to be back.
They are actually going to make arrangements to come pick up your vehicle. That's why we cleared everything out of it. So they're going to take that back. They know that, the detectives down there have spoke to him, and they're like, he's probably not going to be out next week to make his payments, and whatever money he does have, he's probably not going to want to make a car payment. So
I don't have any money.
Okay, so they're going to be taking that thing back.
Like I said, all my money is tied up in my things and those. Okay. So we've discussed the inventory of the items in my car. What about the gold coin, silver coins, the guitar, and that stuff that was in the hotel room?
We have that in our evidence facility as well, locked up. The coins and stuff are all in a big safe.
Can that be released to travel back with me to Kansas City when I go?
I don't know that. I don't know what they're going to want with that.
Like I said before, I need that to go back to my father.
Okay. We will. What happens as far as the stuff getting released, from the evidence, is going to be the guys in Missouri's call. What gets done with it? He's going to work on these coins that were in your possession.
The specific ones that went into jail, we'll talk to him about those. Everything else that got put into evidence is going to go as a package to Missouri, and then they'll make the call from there.
But you're wanting to try to get those coins and stuff back there quicker.
Because I consider that stuff, had I walked out of the hotel room with it on my back in the backpack, it would be downstairs right now, and it would go with me to Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
got you.
No,
We'll see what we can do. what you know the inventory of your gold and your silver coins and more stuff. What do you estimate the value of that to be?
Of coins? Into your phone with calculator?
Yeah. Just, we're just counting them. We're looking at, I'll admit I'm probably as bad as the people that took your coins out of your wallet at the jail. I don't know what the values are. You need to write anything down?
No. I don't know what my going market value is right now for gold. I think it's going to get
It was like
1260 or something.
40 yesterday.
No way it's that low.
Yeah.
It would have to have dropped $100 and.
Yeah, it was 12 something yesterday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look it up for you. Which, in the big picture is going to fluctuate.
Yeah, but
It's usually not that much.
we'll just go with
Go with what you knew it last time.
Right, 1320.
This isn't as exact.
3. That's
Just those three.
Just those 3 coins. It's almost $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
1272.30.
1272.3.
And then you got that little 10th ounce.
The 10th ounce is worth $200, maybe 300.
Okay. That would be about right.
Now the silver right now is probably going for 1730 or something,
Right.
somewhere around there. So there's 69 ounces of that times $1,993. So $5,000
$5,400 probably worth of. Okay.
plus the guitar. That's a $2,000 guitar. It belongs to my father.
All right. That was more curiosity. We'll discuss that with them. I'll at least express that it wasn't in your vehicle, in your possession at the time the incident happened. It was all stuff that was brought in afterwards. Typically, even your car, they would take as evidence, and they wouldn't let that sucker go but they're going to end up releasing it to that company. So I don't know what they're going to do with your property. If it wasn't related and into the car at the specific time this thing happens, maybe they can release it to somebody. I don't know. Your gun, stuff like that, obviously, is not going to have value. It might not have value in a gun form as you, but I suppose if they released it or something like that, it could be sold to help, whatever it costs. So, do you have taken up enough time? Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. Any chance that you guys can be, whenever I have to go down there and do all this stuff, is there any chance you guys could be in, contact and explaining everything that we've talked about? You
mean as far as court proceedings and stuff like that?
Yeah.
We both discussed, there's no doubt at some point we're going to get subpoenaed to come down to Independence, Missouri to testify in court. No. I've told you all along that you've been honest, and I appreciate that. I don't think you're some bad, hardened criminal that's, think something bad happened, and there's nobody can deny that. Even yourself, you don't deny that. So yeah, we'll end up being there, and we'll be honest about our conversations. I think a lot of people figure that since, you're in here dealing with the cops got to hate you and not respect you, stuff like that. I think that's a common misconception. I know the situation's bad, but I respect you for, seems like you're a good guy going up to this, and you've been great with us. Put the incident aside.
I would like to say that. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I'm very appreciative of how nice you guys have been about this, and the officers here at this facility. I couldn't expect to have been treated better, and I'm very appreciative of that. I just don't know if I would receive the same treatment back home.
We'll Sure we'll be
We'd
there.
like to hope you would. I mean, obviously we don't know people down there.
I don't know him either.
And I mean, any of our conversations, I've been talking to the sergeant and the detective down there, and I told him, guy seems pretty remorseful. He's been straight up, So hopefully by the time you get down there, I don't know if they'll want to come talk to you or whatever, but they'll probably have the same, we'll convey the same image as what we're seeing down there when they go back down there. So hopefully it won't, get approached in a good manner. All right. They feed you right around lunchtime there?
I don't know what. I have no idea.
Just before now. We'll get you back down here. I would not expect that we're going to... I don't foresee that we're going to be coming down to bring you back up here and talk to you some more. And I think you've really clarified all the questions. I cannot think of any details. So.
Christopher Taylor was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and armed criminal action. He was sentenced to 7 years and 17 years to be served concurrently.